Brooklyn Beckham's choice to distance himself from his famous family has roots that go deep into the fabric of how the Beckhams have long portrayed themselves to the world. For many years, the public has been treated to a carefully curated image of familial harmony, one that is splashed across magazines, social media feeds, and red carpet events. Think of those polished family photos where everyone is smiling perfectly, dressed in coordinated outfits that scream luxury and togetherness. This image isn't just a snapshot. It's the cornerstone of a multimillion-dollar brand that revolves around themes of unwavering loyalty, deep-rooted love, and unbreakable family bonds. The Beckhams, David, the iconic footballer turned businessman, and Victoria, the fashion mogul and former Spice Girl, have masterminded this narrative, turning their personal lives into a marketable empire that includes clothing lines, fragrances, and endorsements. But beneath this glossy veneer, tensions have apparently been simmering for quite some time, and Brooklyn, the eldest son, has reached a breaking point. He's essentially declared that he's finished with the charade, no longer willing to participate in what he perceives as a facade designed to maintain public approval and commercial success. This decision hasn't come lightly, and it's sending shockwaves through the family dynamic. There's a palpable sense of alarm among the Beckhams, particularly because Brooklyn's departure could potentially unearth more skeletons from the closet. The family has faced its share of scandals in the past, rumors of infidelity, business disputes, and the pressures of living under constant scrutiny, but they've always managed to circle the wagons and present a united front. Now, with Brooklyn stepping away, there's a fear that he might decide to speak out more candidly, revealing details that could tarnish the carefully polished image they've worked so hard to uphold. It's not just about personal hurt, it's about the potential damage to their brand, which is intrinsically tied to their family story. Imagine the headlines if more revelations come to light. Stories of internal conflicts, perhaps even more serious allegations that have been kept under wraps. This uncertainty is like a dark cloud hanging over them, making every day a waiting game for what might come next. Recently, Brooklyn took to his Instagram stories to share an update that has only amplified these concerns. In a series of posts, he made it abundantly clear that reconciliation isn't on his agenda right now. He didn't mince words, expressing a desire to forge his own path without the interference or expectations from his family. This public declaration has left fans and observers speculating wildly about his future moves. Will he write a tell-all book? Launch his own independent ventures that directly compete with the family business? Or perhaps collaborate with outsiders who have their own axes to grind against the Beckhams? The possibilities are endless, and each one carries the risk of further fracturing the family's public persona. It's a bold move for someone who has grown up in the spotlight, always under the watchful eyes of paparazzi and the expectations of being a Beckham heir. Delving deeper into Brooklyn's grievances, he has openly accused his parents of exerting control over him for the majority of his life. From a young age, he claims his choices, be it in career, relationships, or even daily activities, were influenced or outright dictated by David and Victoria. This control, he says, manifested in subtle and overt ways. Scripted public appearances, managed social media content, and even decisions about his education and hobbies. Growing up in such an environment, Brooklyn describes experiencing overwhelming anxiety that plagued him constantly. It was like living in a pressure cooker, where every action was scrutinized not just by the media but by his own family, who viewed him as an extension of their brand rather than an individual with his own aspirations. But here's the turning point. Once he made the conscious decision to step back and create some distance, that anxiety miraculously lifted. It's as if removing himself from the family's orbit allowed him to breathe freely for the first time, discovering a sense of peace and autonomy that had been elusive before. Brooklyn isn't going through this alone. His wife, Nicola Peltz Beckham, is firmly by his side, and together they've expressed a strong desire to build a life that's authentic to them. They envision a future free from the shackles of image management, where decisions aren't made with an eye toward how they'll play out in the press or on social media. No more performative posts designed to garner likes and maintain a facade of perfection. Instead, they want genuine experiences, real relationships, and a path that's not paved with manipulation or external pressures. Brooklyn has pointed out how his parents have long controlled the narratives surrounding the family in the media. Stories are spun, interviews are carefully orchestrated, and any potential negativity is swiftly quashed or reframed. Family events, which might seem heartwarming to outsiders, like holiday gatherings or birthday celebrations, are, according to him, often staged for the cameras, lacking the true warmth and spontaneity that should define such moments. Even relationships within the family feel inauthentic at times, more like alliances forged for public consumption than bonds built on mutual respect and love. This rift has had a profound emotional impact, particularly on Victoria Beckham. As a mother, she's reportedly devastated by her son's estrangement, struggling to come to terms with the idea that he's chosen to pull away so decisively. Sources close to the family describe her as barely holding it together, oscillating between heartbreak and anger. The pain of feeling rejected by her firstborn is immense, compounded by the fear that this could signal a permanent break. In her moments of fury, Victoria has directed much of her blame toward Nicola, convinced that her daughter-in-law has played a pivotal role in turning Brooklyn against her. Perhaps she sees Nicola as an outsider who has introduced new ideas or encouraged Brooklyn's independence in ways that challenge the family's established dynamics. This accusation adds another layer of tension, potentially pitting family members against each other and complicating any hopes for reconciliation.